Hello everyone, my name is Kaseem. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to walk through Tesla's earnings call. I want to start doing this, every time Tesla drops their earnings. If I can't do a live stream, I'm going to get the audio afterwards, listen to the whole thing and make commentary on it and, share it here with you on YouTube. So in today's video, we are going to go over the earnings call. We're gonna start the earnings call like right now. I'm just saying that up. So I hope you enjoy this. As an investor, I think it's important to always, like, you I know a lot of people cannot listen to every single company they invest in. They cannot listen to all the earnings call, but at least your top 5 that you have most money in, you need to know what those companies are up to, so that way, if the stock goes down, it gives you have more conviction to buy when the stock goes down, because like, what the company is up to, unlike other investors that don't listen to their earnings call. They don't listen to what their team have to say about the company and everything like that. So that's what I'm trying to do here, trying to show you guys how to not only invest, but how to try to make money in the stock market, how to invest for the long term, and what you should really do as as an investor, as someone that invests in stock, some of the things that you're supposed to do. And listening to earnings call is certainly one of them. So let's get the show on the road and listen. So yeah, we just had to take a little break there, but we're gonna get back into the call right now.
Too much, sometimes it doesn't blow up. But if you have a battery, you can store the energy and provide the energy to the grid as needed. The same goes for solar, because obviously the sun does not shine at night, and sometimes it is very cloudy. And so by having battery storage paired with solar and wind, this is the long-term solution to a sustainable energy future. And it needs to occur both at the local level and at the utility level. If it doesn't occur at the local level, what will actually be required is a massive increase in power lines, in power plants. So they have to put long distance and local power lines all over the place.
Yep.
They'll have to increase the size of the substations. It's a nightmare.
Yep. And it's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to cost a lot more. That's the thing. It's going to cost a lot more, because utilities will have to increase, because the electricity has to come from somewhere. Like right now, they're burning a lot of coal and nuclear power to create electricity. Now, once in the future, a bunch of people, let's say 50% or like 80% of all the cars on the road, which it's looking like that's what's going to happen. If 80% of the car that is going to be on the road is electric, they have to get that power from somewhere, So homes becoming their own utility would actually help balance out the grid tremendously. And at the same time, obviously, utilities as well, instead of building like coal power plants and all these things, they are probably better off trying to build like more renewable power plants, as using wind, solar, and all these things. So
solar plus battery, it's the only way.
Yep.
So yeah.
Thank you very much. And the next retail question is, Master of Coin, can you tell us anything about Tesla's future plans in digital currency space? Or when
Master of Coin is only in Tesla that this can happen. Can you imagine the CFO? His new name is called Master of Coins, because he takes care of the coins for Tesla. It's great. I love Tesla. They can crack jokes, man. Oh Lord.
Any such major developments might be revealed?
Sure. Thanks, Martin. So as I noted in our opening remarks, and we've announced previously, so Tesla did invest $1.5 billion into Bitcoin in Q1, and then we subsequently sold a 10% stake in that.
So they sold a 10% stake. So they invested 1.5 billion in Bitcoin. They sold 10% of it, and when they invested it, when they invested the money, they invested it when it was around 30 something. So now Bitcoin is sitting roughly about 50 or so. So they've made a ton of money, $1.5 billion that they invested in Bitcoin.
We also allow customers to make vehicle deposits and final vehicle purchases using Bitcoin. And so where our Bitcoin story began, maybe just to share a little of the context here, Elon and I were looking for a place to store cash that wasn't being immediately used.
Okay.
Try to get some level of return on this, but also preserve liquidity.
Makes sense.
Particularly
It makes sense, because I do the same thing too. I have I do the same thing too. I have, my savings that I'm not really going to use the money that much. I put that money into Bitcoin, I put that money into Bitcoin and let it earn interest. It's because Bitcoin is an alternative. You can even think of Bitcoin as a better option than bonds, to be honest. Like, the only thing with Bitcoin is just the volatility is high.
Clearly, as we look forward to the launch of Austin and Berlin, and uncertainty that's happening with semiconductors and port capacity, being able to access our cash very quickly is super important to us right now.
Definitely.
And there aren't many traditional opportunities to do this, or at least that we found, and in talking to others, that we could get good feedback on, particularly with yields being so low.
Yep.
And without taking,
there's basically no interest. You cannot earn interest on your money. And if you keep a bunch of cash around, like, you're gonna lose money over time because your cash is losing value because the same cash, the cost of using it, the cost of spending it is going up. So if you have $1,000 this year, and next year the same 1,000 might be worth maybe $980. So you've lost like $10 of buying power. So you have to make that $10 up somewhere. So that's why the master of coin decided to invest in Bitcoin with Elon.
On additional risk or sacrificing liquidity. And Bitcoin seemed at the time, and so far has proven to be a good decision, a good place to place some of our cash that's not immediately being used for daily operations, or maybe not needed till the end of the year.
Makes sense.
And be able to get some return on that.
I agree.
And I think one of the key points that I want to make about our experiences in the digital currency space is that there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic here. We're certainly watching it very closely at Tesla, watching how the market develops, listening to what our customers are saying. But thinking about it from a corporate treasury perspective, we've been quite pleased with how much liquidity there is in the Bitcoin market.
That's you guys. You're hearing it from Master of Coin. He said it's easier to transact in Bitcoin. You can easily sell $1 billion. You can sell 10% of $1 billion easily and get your money back in USD quite quickly. So they are really thinking about keeping an eye on the cryptocurrency space, which is a good thing for Tesla.
So our ability to build our first position happened very quickly. When we did the sale later in March, we also were able to execute on that very quickly. So as we think about kind of global liquidity for the business and risk management, being able to get cash in and out of the markets is something that I think is exceptionally important for us. So we do believe long-term in the value of Bitcoin. So it is our intent to hold what we have long-term and continue to accumulate Bitcoin from transactions from our customers as they.
Okay. So that's a lot of gems there. He said they believe in the value of Bitcoin long-term. Okay. So that means they believe that Bitcoin will go up long-term. And at the same time, he just said that as the customers are using Bitcoin to buy their cars, they're just going to keep and hold on to the Bitcoin. So that is a great information from the master of coin.
Purchase vehicles. Specifically with respect to things we may do, there are things that we're constantly discussing. We're not planning to make any announcements here. We're watching the space closely. So when we're ready to make an announcement on this front, if there's one to come, we'll certainly let you all know.
You see, it says we're not ready to make any announcement, but we're watching the space closely. And when we're ready to make some announcements, we are going to let you know. Who knows? Maybe they're going to let you mine the coin in your Tesla car. Maybe they're going to create a machine that people can buy to mine the coin. Because as we all know, Elon is a big fan of Dogecoin. It said Baby X has Doge, is a little hodler. So he's a big fan of Dogecoin. So I think Tesla is going to do something with cryptocurrency in the future. So I'm like you guys know already on this channel, I'm building I'm recently starting to build a position in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Probably more like Bitcoin and Ethereum for now. My next one that I want to jump into is Binance, but that would come in my crypto updates. Let's get back to Tesla.
Thank you.
Great news so far, guys.
Is, does Tesla have any proactive plans to tackle mainstream media massive and deceptive clickbait headline campaigns on safety of autopilot or FSD? Perhaps specialty PR job of some sort?
Technokin, let's hear from you.
Well, I'll take this one, guys. From the safety side, I continue to say if you want to, safety is driving point and all. Go ahead, Elon.
I think please go ahead. I think it's much worth just going through the facts of the specifically there was an article regarding a tragedy where there was a high-speed accident in Tesla that and there was really just
the accident was quite tragic, right? But as we all know, mainstream media, when it comes to Tesla, they blow things way out of proportion. They literally blow things way out of proportion, and it's just ridiculous, okay? Very, very stupid, because they lied that, there was nobody in the front of the car, which was not true. That the car was on self-driving mode, which is not true. The car didn't have any self-driving. So mainstream media just blew it out of proportion, because obviously they hate Tesla. That's just my opinion. Like, mainstream media really don't like Tesla because they have all these companies that are sponsoring them. You have the Volkswagen, you have the Toyota. Don't sue me, bro. This is my opinion, okay? It's just my opinion. It's, don't sue me, bro.
Extremely deceptive media practices where it was claimed to be autopilot, with this is completely false.
Exactly.
And those journalists should be ashamed of themselves.
Exactly.
Please go ahead, Lars.
Yeah, thanks, Elon. So I was just saying we're committed to safety in all our designs, and that's number one in what we do here. Regarding the
exactly, like Tesla does not make unsafe cars, and they don't make slow cars. They make the car fun but safe. And if you get into an accident, you'll be better off getting into God forbid, I don't wish accident on anybody. But if you're gonna get into an accident, you want to get into an accident in a Tesla, especially when they come out with the semi truck. Okay, I don't pray for anybody to get into an accident, but the semi truck is on point. Even any of the Tesla car, Model 3, Model Y, they all safe, completely safe. It's the best and the most safest car out there, because there's a bunch of ratings, government ratings, that rate them to be the best. So,
crash in Houston specifically, we work directly with the local authorities, NTSB and NHTSA, wherever applicable, and whenever they reach out to us for help, directly on the engineering level and whatever else we can support.
Exactly.
In that vein, we did a study with them over the past week to understand what happened in that particular crash, and what we've learned from that effort was that AutoSteer did not and could not engage on the road condition that as it was designed. Our adaptive cruise control only engaged when a driver was buckled and above 5 miles per hour, and it only accelerated to 30 miles before the car crashed. As well, adaptive cruise control disengaged the car slowly to complete to a stop when the driver's seatbelt was unbuckled. Through further investigation of the vehicle and accident remains, we inspected the car with NTSB and NHTSA and the local police, and were able to find that the steering wheel was indeed deformed, so leading to the likelihood that someone was in the driver's seat at the time of the crash, and all seatbelts post-crash were found to be unbuckled. We were unable to recover the data from the SD card at the time of impact, but the local authorities are working on doing that, and we await their report. As I said, we continue to hold safety in a high regard and look to improve our products in the future through this kind of data and other information from the field.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go to the next question from institutional investors. The first question is, proponents of alternative grid storage technologies claim that lithium-ion is unsuited for long-term storage at scale due to vampire drain. Could 4680 cells address this limitation? Is the limitation even relevant for charging the energy equation?
Yeah, just let me jump in on the vampire. Definitely not the issue. A good lithium-ion cell self-discharges less than 0.001% of its energy per day. So the vampire drain is maybe not separate. No. Yeah.
as mythical as vampires.
Yeah, I think the challenge with seasonal storage is your value proposition drops from hundreds of useful full cycles per year to less than maybe 10 or maybe even less than 5 cycles per year. So it's just a different type of technology, altogether that would make sense, given that it's more than an order of magnitude different use case.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a long way to go before we're dealing with seasonal technology issues. But certainly a way to deal with seasonal technology would be to have wind and solar growing on the side of more southerly latitudes, but then across a variety of longitudes. So essentially, like let's say in the U.S., for example, if there was, I'm not sure if you'll understand that you can actually power the entire United States with just sort of roughly a 100-mile by 100-mile grid of solar. Sometimes people don't quite understand, like, well, how much.
Look at that. Can you imagine? Listen, this guy is determined to get these things done. And with President Biden, their new $2 trillion or $3 trillion proposal, it has a bunch of stuff with EV included. I think this is going to be a decade for Tesla as an investment and just seeing the company grow. I think all Tesla investors should just keep an eye on their calls like we're doing now, watch the calls, and just listen to the team. That's the only people you should be listening to. Don't listen to people in the media, social media, about the company, because those people have no idea. They have no clue. They are not the people that are on the ground actually getting things done, for the investors at the end of the day. So calls like this keeps my conviction very, very strong when it comes to this company. Let's end that right there. So to me, that sounds like a very, very good investment. That what I just got from the call, let's just go over it. So they basically solving real world AI problems. This is from my notes, a few things that I got jotted down. They're solving real world AI problems. The Model 3 is the best-selling car, period. Best-selling sedan, period. And their Model Y is going to be the best-selling car moving forward. All right. They're working on their Dojo system. And the Dojo system is basically the car has a bunch of cameras around it. And then they build their own computer chip that they build into the car. And the computer chips process all the image and tell the car what to do. So processing those images image and labeling those images, they used to have people doing it, human beings doing it, and telling the computer, hey, this is what this is, this is what that is, this is what this is. Now they're training the computer to do that. So the dojo system is improving. What's the next one? They talked about the solar roof. They talked about Tesla selling Bitcoin. They sold 10% of Bitcoin. They talked about like superconductor. I have to research that more. They talked about the energy business. They talked about FSD. So this call was a very helpful call as a Tesla investor. Again, I personally still feel like the company is still not matured yet to get to a point where you're gonna sell the stock. If you own the stock right now, it's just to be accumulating, because we have factories in Germany, factory in Austin, Texas. They're coming out with Model S, Model Y, Plaid, Cybertruck, semi-truck. This company is just starting on their journey. This is a great investment. Anybody that is investing in Tesla, that you don't listen to Tesla's earnings call, you are doing yourself a disjustice or whatever. You should be listening to Tesla's earnings call. Anyways, with that being said, appreciate you for watching the video. I know this is a long video. I appreciate you for watching the video. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing to the channel. I do this pretty much every week. I post on this channel every week. So if you like this content, subscribe. I do my Tesla update every week and a half, which I show you how my Tesla portfolio is doing. And I go with the basic premise of investing $20 every day, which is $100. It's about $400. It's about $400 per month that I invest into Tesla stock on a daily basis. So it's not a lot of money. I think a lot of people can afford to do $20 a day on a great investment like this. So anyways, all in all, this has been a great earnings call. I've learned a lot more about the company, and I'm going to keep on doing some more research like I do pretty much all the time. And listening to the earnings call like this is part of that research. Keep on doing those research and just trying to gain a little bit more knowledge into what the company is doing. So whenever the stock goes down like crazy, I jump in and buy a little bit more and just over time grow my wealth as a company grow as well. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Appreciate you for watching. Until next time, see you later. Love you all. Bye.